I'll be sharing time with Deputy Robert Dowds and Deputy Eamon Maloney as well. I'll be speaking for 5 minutes, if that's okay. 5 minutes, last Kieran. The biggest challenge this government faces is getting our public finances in order, and this is, of course, the legacy of the economic mess that Fianna Fáil have left the country in. They signed the deal which has led us here today. They agreed the terms and conditions which sees us introduce this charge tonight. I noted from last night's debate that some of the Fianna Fáil deputies asserted that we could long finger the introduction of this charge because the new government has lengthened until 2015, the time we have to get our deficit to 3% of GDP. The one Fianna Fáil deputy's idea was that we could delay the introduction and deal with the issue of financing local government at another time. That, Alas Ciarán Comhairle, is just more of the same for Fianna Fáil. It's putting off things. It's just like they put off the septic tank charges. Put off until tomorrow what you should really do today. Well, long fingering the hard decisions was their policy, and it's one of the main reasons why we're in the mess that we're in, where we have to borrow to pay our teachers, our doctors and our nurses. But we're getting our country back on track and back to this. We do have to make some tough, hard decisions, but we're trying to do this in as fair and as progressive a way as possible, and we will continue to do that over the next 4 years. You know, everybody knew at the last election that a property tax was going to be introduced over the lifetime of any future government, and I was asked myself at the doorsteps in County Meath, what would we do in relation to a property tax, and I told people out straight. I said we had to introduce a property tax. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that I lost votes because of that, but that response was necessary because we had to be upfront and truthful with the people. We had to tell them that we had to do it, and we're tied to do it so that we can continue to get funding from the Troika. We want this tax to be levied in as fair a manner as possible, and we want to make sure that we protect those people who cannot afford to pay it. And to ensure that this happens, the Minister has put together an expert group who are designing a fair and progressive property tax, and this group is going to look at the scope of the tax. They're going to look at the assessment criteria, and they're going to look at what exemptions and waivers can be put in place. And this group is going to report back to the Minister, I think, in the middle of next year, and decisions will be taken from there, and I welcome that because I do think that will lead to a more progressive and fair system. As it stands, there are a number of exemptions that are being put in place. For instance, exemptions for people living in social housing, for instance, for people who are in receipt of mortgage interest supplement, and that's going to be about 18,000 households.
2 minutes remaining.
And also, for instance, people living in the 1,300 unfinished housing estates in the country. So the expert group will be reporting on more options in the middle of next year for exemptions and waivers. And I have to say that we do recognise that, you know, this money doesn't come easy to anybody. This is hard-earned money that people are going to have to pay out of their pockets. So I want to say to them that we're committed to making sure that that money is spent as efficiently and as effectively as possible at local level. Last Ciarán Comhairle, we're making the hard decisions, and we continue to do that so that we can claim back our economic sovereignty and get our country back to work.